So you want to learn how to think critically or how to improve your critical thinking skills? Well, the not so good news is that critical thinking is not something that's easy to learn from books, let alone to teach. That's what most researchers agree on anyway. Granted, there are some generic, non-domain specific elements of critical thinking, that is the whats and the hows, that one can learn about through reading a book. But that's almost never enough for one to actually learn how to think critically. So what can you do to get better at critical thinking? 1. Gain more experience and expertise within your specific domain. Yeah, that's easier said than done. I don't feel the need to further expand on this, as experience and expertise really come over time. Expand your current way of thinking by learning about ways of thinking that are different than what you've been exposed to. I once thought that in order for me to become the best within my specific domain, I only needed to focus on gaining domain-specific knowledge. While that is definitely helpful, I find that sometimes you need to step outside of your own domain to really expand your horizons. So to me, a great book that expands your horizons provides a framework to follow and also provides practical examples of how that framework can be applied in the real physical world. With that in mind, here are 2 books that I recommend that you read if you're an engineer. The Switch by Chip and Dan Heath. Thanks to a recommendation by one of my amazing mentors, I recently read The Switch by Chip and Dan Heath, and boy oh boy is that a great book. The book is essentially about how to make, drive, and sustain change when change is hard. The 2 authors provide an airtight framework that applies to professional, personal, and even societal settings, as well as discuss in detail many real-world examples. All in all, highly recommended, especially to those of us who tend to look at things from an analytical, fact-based perspective. Read the book, and it will change the way you think about change. Statistical Engineering by Stefan Steiner and Jacques McKay. These 2 Canadian gentlemen managed to pull off a book on variation reduction so great that I often use it as a reference book for myself. What makes it an excellent source of information is that it walks you through what the authors call an algorithm for variation reduction in manufacturing processes, as well as provides a plethora of real-life examples. No fluff, extremely practical and powerful statistical techniques combined with actual engineering solutions make this book the perfect read to broaden your perspective on problem solving and variation reduction. Verdict: if you're into industrial statistics and problem solving, this is your book. Alright, that's it for today. Let me know in the comments section of any books you may want to recommend.